requires the department to give notice to the supplier as well as the recipient in case the money is not paid to the government, the tax amount. And only in case of the supplier does not react or the supplier is not traceable, only then can the ITC of the recipient be reversed. Hence, in case of matching, we understand if you have complied with all the provisions of 16 subsection 2, then one has to only substantiate that the payment has been made through the bank account to the supplier and a valid duty paying document is available. Hence, and thereafter the credit cannot be denied until unless of course the supplier is not traceable. More so, if you see that in GSTR 2A, certain invoices are appearing actually twice for the month of July and August. Now, in case certain invoices appear twice, what is the guarantee that certain invoices would not be missed at all? Therefore, let the GST network first declare that the GST portal is sacrosanct. 2A is sacrosanct. Only then can GSTR 2A would be relied upon. The next issue is in case of insurance AMC contracts where the payment is made for 1 year at a time. When would ITC be availed? Now mind that the payment is made in the beginning of the year and the services are availed throughout the year. The GST amount is paid on agreement of receipt of services. Now, in our concerted view, the ITC can be taken immediately on payment of the GST value. Whether mixed supplies of conferencing would be eligible to ITC. Now, in case a conference is held and the billing is for the conference, there are certain food and beverage served in the conference, but the billing is on per member basis for conference services provided. Whether ITC would be available or not? Absolutely yes. 17.5 blocks only ITC in respect of food and beverage. But where the principal supply is conference service for business purpose, there is no way such ITC can be blocked. Canteen supply, whether ITC is available or not, of course it is available. In case canteen supplies where reimbursement is chargeable as supplies by the employer, then the corresponding ITC can also be availed. In case of capital goods, capitalization takes place for the installation part also. Now the question is whether ITC of such services of installation which is capitalized as a part of capital goods, that can be availed or not. Again, the answer is a big yes. The services part take the nature of the capital goods only in the instant case. Now, in case the services are provided separately, maybe by a separate vendor, then they can be taken as input services. And for all practical purposes, the difference between capital goods inputs and input services is very, very thin, and there is no disallowance per se. So these are the various issues in relation to ITC in the GST regime as on date. I hope I have been able to clarify. In case of any further doubts, you might feel free to write to us at any point in time. Our mail ID is provided in the PPT. Thank you very much.